Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the first race of AUSF1 Season 8. We are back with some Tier 1 action at Round 1 around the Bahrain International Circuit in Sakhir. Currently the two McLarens at the head of the field, looking to set their lap time first, maybe exchange some toes. But while we wait for that to start, I am Ashton, your commentator for tonight, joined by, unfortunately, nobody. However, I still will do my best to put on a decent show for you all. But, as you can see, first race of the season and a lot more stacked grid than last season. Season 7 new names, including Checkered Flag, Yusuf Goat, KLX, you've got Apollo Pepsi, Globdrip, Fins, Websy, Set Dommy, all new names to the AUSF1 grid. But we can see our first lap of the season is about to be set. GLX Cam following in the toe of his teammate Checkered Flag. We will go with Checkered Flag as he makes his way around the first corner of the Bahrain International Circuit, opening the DRS on the run from turn 3 up to turn 4. His teammate following closely behind to get that slipstream. It gains you multiple tenths a lap. Just ask Devastator when he gained 4 tenths in a lap using his teammate's toe around here last season. That put him 4th on the grid, but we'll have to see if GLX Cam can take notes from Devastator's performance last season as he follows his teammate Checkered Flag, an OFI driver. I believe he is new to the AUSF1 grid after we've moved this tier from Sundays to Mondays. Joining the McLaren team, he fell all the way to pick 10, which was a bit unexpected, but I'm sure the McLaren team principal A-Dog was very happy to pick him up. But we'll have to see what he can produce for the Woking outfit as he runs down the back straight. He's got 15% battery left still in hot lap. Already got red fuel, so he probably put it on a minimum to maximize that lap time. Maybe just copying a little bit of some low fuel mode on the end lap. He's used his deploy, a 127.251 for Checkered Flag. Your first lap time of the season. Next to cross the line seems to be an Alpine. It is Apollo Pepsi. He's used all his ERS. He goes third with a 128.030. We have Chill Pill looking to cross the line in the Kick Sauber now. He jumps up to 5th with a 28.93. Now Haas, is that Farmer Sam? It is. He was picked up at pick 3. He skyrockets up to 6th with a 28.1. Checkered Flag, though, still sitting pretty atop the timing sheets with that 27.2. We now have Nat Hammer crossing the line, P8 for him. Now an Aston Martin, Sir Joshy, returning from last season, missed the last couple of races, runner up in the championship. He was known as a bit of a qualifying merchant, a 127.054 banker for Sir Joshy. But we now look to Verk, who is starting his lap. We'll see if we can jump on board with someone finishing theirs. Aussie 2K go with his teammate KLX following closely behind. DRS open for your reigning champion. He goes up to 5th, giving KLX that toe as they head down to turn 1. KLX returning not from season 7 but from past seasons, if I am not mistaken. Now let's jump on board with Keith Respondek. Yusuf going fastest to 26.9. I'll have to see what Mash Jr. is doing on his return to F1. It was a no ERS lap. But apart from that, I don't think there's anyone too notable setting their first lap time. So we will stay with Keith Respondek. Pick number 7, lucky number 7. He's now rounding that final corner, pulling to the right hand side to avoid the bumps. I believe he's actually donning the number 7, and he goes P7 with a 127.822. KLX now coming around turn 11, heading up into turn 12. A long sequence of flowing left and right here. Easy to unsettle the car if you ride that turn 12 curb a little bit too much. Apologies, just missed Websy, doing a 29.769, a pretty nice lap time for him. KLX now coming around the final corner, pick 2. Picked by Aussie 2K Goat, the Ferrari team principal. We'll have to see if he can live up to pick 2. He goes P9, placing the Sauber in a Ferrari sandwich. Let's see what Mash Jr.'s doing, because he should be on a flying lap now. He'll be getting a little bit of a tow from the Mercedes in front that kind of just lagged behind him. But Mash Jr. coming towards the line, P10 for the Red Bull Reserve. Chill Pill a little bit up on his lap time, a 128.555 for him. Set Domi currently on a lap, but he invalidated. We'll have to see what Keith Respondent can do. He is on an in-lap. He will pull into the pit lane. It appears he is out of fuel, given he's going 161 k's while using full throttle. We'll have to see what Nathammer can do. He looks to be on a hot lap, given he's using the hot lap ERS mode. Coming down that back straight, looking to slam on the brakes at the 100-meter board, throwing it into turn 14, then through the nothing corner of turn 15. DRS open, coming to the line. He will stay P16, however he did record a 3/10th improvement. Set Domi now lagging a lot, it seems. That's not ideal if you're a fellow league racer of his, but let's see if we can catch somebody on a hot lap. Glob Drip currently in none. Chillpill might be doing a hot lap. He seems like he's pushing on the hot lap ERS mode. Set Domi has left the session. We've got... Okay, I'm assuming that Set Domi saying he's going to restart his console in chat. That's what we like to see. Hopefully he can get back in the lobby. Fins, he's on a hot lap coming through turn 4. I'm just going to change something with stream settings quickly. Apologies. Okay, it was blocking the track map. Apologies for that. But Finn's coming out of turn 10. His rear wing wide open on a flying wrap. The full-time Red Bull driver, and looking to set his first lap time of AUSF1 Season 8 and looking to make it competitive in that Red Bull. Running around turn 12, looking at... he invalidated on the exit. I was about to say looking to fling it into turn 13, but he just got too excited on the exit of turn 12 into the entry of turn 13, and that lap time, if he crosses the line, will not count. eBay going pick 20 in the draft, P16 currently. Let's see, can we catch anyone else on a hot lap? It seems like there seems to be a pretty large tow line happening. We've got Checkered Flag heading it off, GLX Cam following him. Farmer Sam looking to improve his position from P13 from what was seen from him before. He probably should be higher on the grid than that. But GLX Cam falling off a little bit might impede Farmer Sam a little. Hopefully he can stay out of his way. Let's see what Checkered Flag can do. Overtake to the line. Deploy use DRS open. He goes P2. Cam, was he able to improve? I'm not sure, but Farmer Sam, he will go P3. Oh, not P3, P5. Apologies. Zox currently on a hot lap, exiting turn 11 into the long right-hander of turn 12. A tiny little straight before turn 13, where Finn validated the track map saying purple. However, that can be a little bit unreliable on this game. But I'm sure that won't affect Zox's mentality. He'll be wanting to go as high on the timing sheets as possible. Rear wing open, deploy used, a 1.8 tenth improvement for him. but it's not enough to climb any positions. Let's see. Finn's coming into the pit lane out of fuel. Scotty setting his first lap time, last season's Tier 2 champion, picked pretty high up in the draft. I believe it's a 28.9 for Scotty. Let's see, Mash Jr.'s on an out lap, that's that Red Bull. Verk is on an in lap. Chilpill out lap. I don't think there's actually anyone on a lap up until Keith Respondak. So let's have a look at him. Currently sitting P9 on 127.822 for the Kick Sauber. Out of turn 8. Looked a little bit slow, but I'm sure it was probably faster than it looked. Looking up a little bit, maybe helping rotation into turn 9 and 10, using overtake on that on the smallest of the straights. Saving a bit for that final sector is Keith, running through the flying complex of turn 11 and turn 12, looking to fling it into turn 13 up ahead. Using this game's fairly broken handling model, you can get away with it, but Keith Respondak looking to use every inch of track, using a lot of the ERS on this back straight, flinging it in to that final corner, flat out through turn 15, which is a nothing corner, pulling to the right to avoid the bumps, and it is not an improvement, 1/10 off. Maybe it was turn 8 that affected him. Let's see, can we catch eBay Boy doing something? A 1/10 improvement for him, almost on the dot. Chilpill up 2.5 tenths, coming to the line, reserving for the Kick Sauber team. P14 for him, 3.5 tenths improvement. It's Aussie 2K Goat, he's 3 tenths up, currently in P8, looking to come to the line. He had a little bit of battery left, something we haven't seen from other drivers. Lucky number 7 for your reigning champion. KLX now, I believe, will be the next to cross the line. 1/10 up through sector 2 for him. Full throttle to the line, pulling to the right to avoid the bumps, unless he's going to the pit lane, which he is. Obviously not a big enough improvement for him to go back around and risk not getting that final run. Nat Hammer might be starting a lap. Could be worth riding on board with him. eBay Boy, he's too far down, so I think we will go on board with Nat Hammer, currently in P17, looking to improve his position, fling it into turn 4. Careful not to invalidate on exit. He's kept it very close to the middle of the track there. No risk of invalidation at all for Nat Hammer. Slamming on the brakes into turn 8, a bit of a tricky corner, not to lock up, not to run wide, but you also need to run a bit wide to maintain speed out of there on the run down to turn 9 and 10. I believe Nat Hammer did that pretty well. My puny tier 3 brain, not the best at understanding this. Currently on 30% ERS, slamming on the brakes at the 65 meter mark pretty much. Turn 12 coming up. Pretty simple corner, unless you ride that curve too much, which can send you spinning. Nat Hammer, purple sector 2 according to the track map, but we know that is unreliable. Slamming on the brakes at that 100 meter board, flinging it into the final corner, as we've seen many other drivers do. Deploy use, he won't get anything up to the line. P15, a 6/10 improvement for Nat Hammer. Finns will be the next driver to set a lap time. I'm just going to take a drink of water quickly. Cameron's left the session. I'll invite him back. But Finn's looking to get a nice toe from the Alpine ahead, point to the right to avoid the bumps. Hot lap down this main straight, slamming on the brakes at the 100-meter board by the looks of it. Throwing the car into turn 1, through turn 2 and 3, which come very quickly. Now up to turn 4, looking to slam on the brakes just after that little access road that you can see on the driver's left-hand side. Through turn 7 now, 5, 6 and 7, a pretty tricky complex around here to maintain minimum speed. So is turn 8, but Finn's able to do that pretty nicely. He hasn't set a lap time yet, so he needs this lap to be on it. He won't get a chance to do a cool down lap. Cam retiring from the session as he wasn't able to get out in time due to a little disconnect. Chill Pill also retiring in that pit lane. But we will stick with Finn's currently 1 minute and 5 seconds into his lap. 1 minute 5.5 through sector 2. The Red Bull driver looking to go from nearly rock bottom to the top of the timing sheets here. He'll have to be careful not to get impeded by any of this traffic as we've got a big slipstream train up ahead. But Finn's crossing the line now. P7 for him. He won't be able to finish any higher as he does not have the battery. He's off the throttle and he will not continue on this lap. Let's see, a Ferrari coming towards the line. Is that KLX? No, it's the 2K Goat starting his lap. Is that eBay Boy starting his lap? Yes, it is. We're looking for Mash Jr. now. He had a double out lap starting his lap. Now, Sir Joshy won't set another lap time, so we'll go with Zox currently in P9. Oh, that is a big spin through a tricky section of track. Tank slapper for Zox, and he just wasn't able to save it. Did not go into the barriers, but he will not improve on his time of a 127.378. We now see Farmer Sam in that slipstream train. We'll see if we can catch Set Dommy, hopefully fixing his connection issues as Cam leaves the session. If he's not back in by the end of qualifying, I will flick him another invite. But Set Dommy looking to set his first lap time of the season, coming around that final corner, staying to the left as he opens his rear wheeling. P5 for him. We now see this slipstream train. AUSF1 going to provisional pole ahead of Webster, ahead of checkered flag. Can anyone top him? Let's see. It seems like it will be Vert next across the line. He goes P16. Keith Respondak marginally down on his time. He will start P13. We now have Globdrip crossing the line. He goes to P13 with a 27.781. Scotty looking to improve on his time. He goes up to P19. Jumping eBay Boy, who's about to cross the line, trying to form a rebuttal. He will start P20. However, Aussie 2K go P9, and that will be qualifying. Look, Cam got back in a nick of time. So as you can see, Yusuf on pole by 1.3 tenths of a second from Websy, from Checkered Flag, from Farmer Sam, from Sir Joshy, from Mash Jr., who is reserving for Red Bull, not currently full-time. Set Dommy P7, Cam P8, Finn's P9, 2K Goat P10, and then let's just have a look at the rest of the results. You can see it for yourself. Just so, just as a backup for... So, now under the floodlit Bahrain International Circuit, the drivers gearing up for their for their first race of the season. You can see the VIP tower in the background. They'll get a good view of any turn or one carnage, but we wait and see. The strategy around here, normally hard to soft, the soft and medium actually having very similar tyre life and pace around here, so the soft is the optimal tyre roughly for the first 13 laps, and then from there on of a first 13 laps of a stint, and then from there on out it is the hards, with the softs actually puncturing after 13 laps on average. So we will wait for the lights to start to turn on. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it is foot to the floor. Go for the first race of the season. AUSF getting a decent start. Checkered flag tucking in right behind him. Sir Joshi getting an excellent start. Now looking up the inside of Websy into turn 1. Everyone locking up. A smoke screen being deployed at turn 1 entry. That is a Williams going slowly of glob drip. Front wing damage by the looks of it for him. We see Cam getting position on Zox as everyone goes single file into turn 4 except the 2 Ferraris. They sorted themselves out. However, Keith Respondak already gaining 1 position from his P13 start, looking to jump 1, maybe both of the Ferraris, as we have Gilix Cam looking around, Set Dummy searching for a move. He's getting the traction on exit, using Yaris around the outside of turn 9, looking to make it stick into turn 10, squeezing him, having to go off track to evade any contact, coming back on safely after the curb ends. But for now it is still AUSF from Websy, from Sir Joshi. Let's have a look at the tyre. It's a very mixed bunch. The 2 Ferraris on mediums and Nat Hammer on mediums. Otherwise it is just softs and hards. Everyone you'd imagine would be going either soft to hard or hard to soft. But as things stand, AUSF Websy and Sir Joshi pulling away from the field. Checkered flag on that hard compounded tyres, holding people up behind, and Mash Jr. will be getting frustrated, or with checkered flag already having lost DRS. We've got Websy overtaking AUSF with Yusuf just tucking in behind. Mash Jr. overtaking checkered flag as well, already gaining on the top 2. He'll be hoping that they squabble through the middle sector so he can gain some tenths on them. Cam leaving the session, having some unfortunate internet issues. Keith Respondak, he got the 2 Ferraris now around the outside of Cam's AI. You don't want to be held up by that. I'll actually flick Cameron an invite. Oh, that is go. But Keith Respondak, currently P8, he got past Cam's AI, so has Aussie 2K. Cam falling like a stone at the moment. Websy leading from AUSF and Sir Joshi at the front. However, yellow flag back in sector 2. That seems to be an Aston Martin facing the wrong way around. He tried to take the paddock circuit the wrong way around. Chillpill, he had to pit for lap 1 damage, unfortunately, reserving in that kick Sauber. He's on the hard. He will be severely impacted by the lack of slipstream during this race. But we now see a couple trains starting to form. Mash Jr., Checkered Flag, and Farmer Sam. The latter of the 2 latter of that group on the hard compound tyres. Set Dommy leading the next train on hards. Keith Respondak looking to carve his way through the field early on the soft, side by side with Aussie 2K running the mediums. 2 split strategies. Aussie 2K with more straight line speed, however, around the outside, pushing down, but he seems to be squeezing ahead of Aussie 2K, and he has still with DRS on Set Dommy heading towards turn 4. He could be sizing up a move, but he will just sit behind the Haas for now, probably looking to make a move at the next DRS zone and see if he can push to catch up to the train containing 2 hard runners ahead of him. Let's see if we can find any more battles. A little 5-car long slipstream train happening here as Keith Respondak has got Set Dommy on the exit of turn 10. Keith getting DRS as well, able to pull away Set Dommy, falling a little bit on those hard tyres. with Keith in P7 looking to tow himself and Aussie 2K Goat up to the next group. They'll be looking to work together as Checkered Flag has passed IRT Mash Jr. Checkered Flag on the hard, Mash Jr. on the softs. Don't change at the front yet. Websy still leading from Yusuf Goat from Sir Joshy. They will now have DRS, so don't be surprised to see Websy shuffle down into that P3 position as they go, as Sir Joshy overtakes or tries to overtake Websy around the outside for the lead of the Grand Prix. He will settle for P2, splitting the pairing of Websy and Yusuf Goat, who I'd actually imagine are probably talking to each other in a VC right as we speak. But let's see, can we see any more battles happening around this field? It seems like KLX has caught up to the three cars in front of him. Keith, Aussie 2K Go and Set Dommy all in P7, 8 and 9. KLX joining that train in P10 now with a long train down behind him. Cam holding that last point scoring spot of P15. Everyone behind him gets 0, a fat donut to their name on the race results and in the standings. So that train, I think you'll find, will actually end up being quite competitive come the end of this race from P11 downwards by the looks of it, except Chillbill, who seems to be struggling on the hards. Still though, Websy leads from Sir Joshy from Yusuf Goat. Heading onto that front straight, they'll pull to the right next to the pit wall to minimise time loss. 2 bumps, you'll see a lot of Tier 1 drivers doing that today. As we see Sir Joshy take the lead, Websy slots into P2, almost pushing the British Racing Green Aston Martin through turn 1, giving him the hurry up, telling him that if he doesn't move along, he will be overtaken again. But what else can we see? Aussie 2K Go overtaking Keith Spondek. Keith currently in P8, Aussie 2K Go in P7. But apart from that, there is not all too much battling through the middle part of this lap. I believe we have Cam back in the car, able to keep up with Scotty in front, sizing up a move around the outside of turn 8. Can he make it stick? It's a lot harder than previous games to make moves around the outside on F1 24, and Cam finding that out the hard way, having to stay in P15 as things stand. But let's take another look at this lead train consisting of Joshy, Websy and Yusuf Goat. Joshy's quality time, let me check. He qualified P5, I can tell you that, but I'm not exactly sure what his qualifying time was. Hopefully someone else can tell me. As Sir Joshy drops into P2, Websy taking the lead. Yusuf Goat cemented in third place in that train, currently not able to make all too much progress. Keith Spondek and KLX battling it out. 2 Ferraris looking to make it a 1-2 within that train, and that's exactly what they have done. Keith falling from his previous position of P7 down to P9, but he's looking back around the outside. But as we just saw with Cam, moves around the outside are hard, but he will now have the inside one. But that turns back into the outside line. A little bit of contact between the two, and Keith gets spun by KLX, maybe not getting left enough room, but he will topple down the order into P11. No damage by the looks of it for the kick Sauber, however. However, that could be the first incident of the season that the stewards do end up looking at. Mash Jr. on the back of this P4, 5, 6 train. The 2 leaders on hard, showcasing their pace. Checkered Flag and Farmer Sam are working together as Mash Jr. goes off track. That could be a little warning. But if you actually have a look here, it almost looks like these 2 trains from the Ferraris downwards have actually squeezed up a lot. We could see these combine later in the race if the mediums keep aging poorly like they have in previous races on this game last season around this track. Everyone pulling to the right to avoid the bumps. Look at that picture, pulling to the right, past the grid slots, then back to the left. Then slamming back on the brakes for turn 1. As we see Finn's, he's actually quite low down. He's just pitted for the soft compounder tyres, so he will definitely have to make another pit stop this race. Chilpill, maybe not, but it will be tight. I'm sure a lot of these guys will be hoping for a safety car to help save fuel and tyres. But Cam leaving the session again. Let me send him the 50th invite of the day. I've sent that through to him. But now, what do we have going on in this pack? Let's have a look at positions changed. I'm just gonna chuck this down. Let's say Apollo Pepsi, so it can quickly just jump to the mid-pack like that. But let's have a look at penalties. No penalties yet. The bottom two, the only drivers to make stops. But let's have a look at positions changed. So Joshy currently falling down to P2. Lebsy getting a bit sideways into turn 1, could open himself up for another move back down into turn 4. Sir Joshy will have the DRSs pulling to the right hand side. We'll get the wide shot down into turn 4. Sir Joshy with the inside line. He is now up 4 positions if he can make this move stick, and that is exactly what he has done. Websy in close pursuit, however, USF dropping off a little, but Sir Joshy able to hold on to the lead of the Grand Prix once again. He had it before. Websy briefly took it off him, but getting sideways into turn 1 was his undoing, and he's now back down into P2 of this Tier 1 Round 1 race around Bahrain. Keith Respondek in the meantime able to jump up ahead of Verk eBay up 8 positions, showcasing some good race pace on those softs. But now we start to ponder, when do drivers come in? Normally it is around 10, 11 lap mark, but these softs can only last till lap 13. So it's going to be tough for our overtakers. Sir Josh is slamming on the brakes, avoids penalty. He will be the first driver to make a pit stop this race. Everyone else pulling to the right, but not far enough right as to go into the pit lane. Do we see anyone behind them pit? Yes, we do. Verk joining Sir Joshy and the Aston Martin crew in the pit lane. His Alpine crew will be rushing out with some fresh, hard tyres to fit on that car. Wheels off, wheels back on, and he will be sent on his way in a nice 2.2 seconds. He falls down to P18 though. I'm just going to flick Cam an invite. As we see, 3 has turned into 2 at the top of Sir Joshua pitting, looking maybe for an undercut. He is joined right in that back marker train, however, so he won't want to get held up by traffic. Nat Hammer already holding him up a little bit. He'll get the benefits of DRS and slipstream, but he'll also get the disbenefit of being trapped behind slower cars on older tyres. Sir Joshua on fresh hards that just came out of the tyre blankets, with looking to overtake Nat Hammer into turn 11, but he will have to stare at the Ineos sponsor for another sector, it seems, unless he can get him into turn 13. He's sizing it up, but he just has to bide his time. Any impatience can cause a lost front wing, and he'd rather lose a couple seconds than lose a front wing. Aussie 2K Goat pulling into the pit lane, getting off the medium tyres. Currently heading into the second pit box in the pit lane, fitting on the hard compound of tyres. The Scarlet Red Ferrari now leaving the pit lane. He will rejoin in P15. Zox and Jelix Cam pitting as well. But we still see AMS Lebsy and Eve Yusuf Goat sitting nicely at the top of the timing sheets. P1 and 2 for these two good friends. They will be looking to consolidate that position, but they're now starting to lose a bit of time to the hard runners behind. The strategy differences will be what makes this race interesting. Drivers opting to start on the hards will have the better tyre compound when they've got less fuel, and that will make them faster overall. But they also have to deal with the slower compound when they've got more fuel, and which will make them slower. It ends up evening out a little bit, but we will have to see how everything turns out come around lap 21-22 when the hard runners will box onto the soft compounded tyre. Websy and Yusuf Group decided to put together as I take a sip of water off the 10-lap-old soft compound tyre. The lap I called out earlier, they will now... Oh, Kalex, 10 seconds into the pit lane. That is not ideal. The first penalty of the race, the first penalty of the season. 10 seconds for Kalex. He'll have to serve 10... have to wait 10 seconds at the next pit stop, which is unlikely to happen. Or 10 seconds will be added to his race time come the end of the Grand Prix, which is definitely the more likely option. He will come out around where his teammate is just behind, slotting in between him and the Alpine, maybe? No, okay. Oh, they're side by side. Alex deciding to back out of that move. We will now wait and see when drivers like Mash Jr., when drivers like eBay Boy decide to pit, when drivers like Nat Hammer decide to pit. But I imagine it will be towards the end of this lap. Mash Jr. and eBay Boy both on 10-lap-old softs. Nat Hammer the same amount of laps on the slower mediums that last the same amount of the softs. It's an interesting call to go on the yellow banded tyre, but it's one Nat Hammer has decided to make, and he'll be hoping it pays off. Still currently behind his teammate even after Yusuf's pit stop. But look at how much Sir Joshi has jumped them by. There is now two or three cars, depending on whether your name is Websy or Yusuf Goat, between you and the Aston Martin, and they will be a fair bit slower on 8-lap older tyres than Joshi. That could let him pull away. Apollo Pepsi just dropping our DRS. He might have it down this straight, he might have it down the next, but I don't know if he'll have it after that. Look at Glob Drip getting swamped by Websy and Yusuf. It'll be free wide into turn one. This is very possibly going to end in tears. Yusuf on the inside. Was that an end plate flying? Oh, Yusuf into the wall. He tried to make it free wide into turn one. Currently sitting in neutral. In reverse. Trying to milk a safety car, the naughty boy. But not ideal for Yusuf. He will topple all the way or he will fall all the way to the bottom of the timing sheet. He tried to make it free wide around the outside of turn 3. Apologies about that, but we will come back to the action. Websy now with Sir Joshi in sight, but he does not have DRS on the Aston Martin in front. That could allow him to pull away, but Websy has the younger tyres, 2 laps younger, in fact, which actually does end up being a significant difference in a 50% race. Yusuf picking up the first proper penalty of the race, 3 seconds for exceeding track limits. Going a bit slowly. But Sir Joshi able to extend the lead on Websy. Websy now falling to over 2 seconds behind Sir Joshy. Sir Joshy able to just treat this as time trial laps. His specialty, pretty much able to put in lap after lap after lap. As we see, okay. We're just going to ride on board with Yusuf Go for a second here, see what he's up to. He'll pull into the pits. And don't be surprised to see Yusuf Go has retired from the session down the bottom of your screen. No, seems to be continuing. He will be a lap down, however. That's going to be a tough deficit to overcome. But look at the two Haas drivers sitting pretty, Dommy and Farmer Sam. As Dommy is coming into the pits. He's only on 12 lap old hards. An interesting call from the Haas team principal. Very interesting call. But let's pan back to the action. Set Dommy onto the soft, so he might be going hard, soft, medium, hard, soft, soft, hard, hard, soft, hard. We'll have to see what his game plan is. Looking to bring glory to the team based in Kannapolis. But could be hard to do that with a strategy that interesting. But his teammate Farmer Sam sitting pretty atop the tier one, race one, and the timing sheets. As we see a yellow flag. Oh, Globby! And that is a safety car. Sparks coming out of his car, a wheel stranded on top. And what does that mean for drivers like Finn's? For drivers like Farmer Sam and Checkered Flag, that could put their strategy into a bit of dismay, but they are coming into the pit lane with 14 laps left to go. I imagine that we'll actually see the mediums go on here. No, the softs for Checkered Flag, obviously banky on a couple laps under the control of Ben Mylander. Sir Joshy coming in. Websy decided to stay out on those 3 lap old hards. Probably not a bad call. But we see a lot of soft runners now. Could be worth going soft to the end. Is that Yusuf Goat who's unlapped himself? Fair play for not pit and quitting. Fair play. But first DNF of the season, Globe Drip 178. Currently sitting in P19. Yusuf Goat just needs to pass turn 9 pretty much. Under Delta it might take a second, but let's just see. A lot of mediums are being put on, but a couple drivers staying out. AMS Websy, Keith Respondek, eBay Boy, they are all choosing the younger, some young hards. Apparently Globdrip did the same thing. He's doing all race, but that 13 lap mark might be where the hards fell off, and he had a nice little date with Barry R. No catfishing involved. When you meet Barry R, you know what you are signing up for. But we now sit and wait for all the drivers to catch back up to Bern Mylander and his train. But we now just have to sit and wait for Yusuf Goat to catch up pretty much. Hopefully he does in time. Globtrip leaving the session. Let's have a look at penalties. Yusuf Goat 13 seconds. Maybe we'll actually see a Yusuf Goat pit stop instead, pitting onto the softs. But with how long the safety car might be staying out for with Yusuf so far back, going onto the softs might not have been a bad call. Just depends, did you have that fresh set of softs available? A little bit of a tongue twister. A lot of drivers going onto the mediums, a bit slower than the softs, but not too dissimilar. Not a bad call. But 5 drivers, in fact, choosing to stay out. Websy, Keith Respondek, eBay Boy, Scotty, and Nat Hammer. We'll have to see how that pans out in the greater scheme of things. But yeah, we just wait. We can take a little guess at what the current driver standings would be. It would be VCARB on top, run by VSC Zandon Plays. Then next it's probably Haas with P1 and P9. Then after that, maybe... with Cam out of the points, it's tough. But you'd think maybe... it might actually end up being McLaren P2 with checkered flag, McLaren P3, sorry, with checkered flag in that P2 position. Cam currently P18, but 24 points on offer for checkered flag for finishing in P2, 30 points. Sorry, oh wait, no, it will most definitely be pass from VCARB from McLaren, I reckon, for the drivers' standings. But we will wait as Ben Mylander will do another lap. You've got Yusuf about to catch up to the safety car, pack. You might actually see him come into the pits to get rid of that 10-second time penalty. However, he still will be holding that for 8 seconds over his head as he comes around the final corner now, pulling to the right. We'll have to see what Yusuf does. As predicted, pulls into the pit lane. We'll have to see what tyre he puts on. You'd imagine it would be the softs, but does he have a... oh no, it's the mediums. He mustn't have had a fresh pair of softs. The only softs he would have had would have been ones from his quali run or the ones he started his stint on at the start of this race. But a lot of mediums, you wouldn't expect to see that, but drivers pinning from soft to hard, pinning onto the medium compound in order to get to the end of this race in the fastest manner possible. We'll wait for Yusuf to catch up to the back of the safety car train, and then we will be back to green flag running. 12 laps till the end after this, including that lap 29. Most drivers currently on 4% of tyre wear, so that definitely shouldn't affect things all too much. So we'll just wait for Yusuf to catch up to the back of train and wait for that safety car coming in message to come in from race control. Safety car in this lap from race control, as we can see. Yusuf pulling up to the back of the pack. Does he still have that penalty? He does. It was not served, and that very well might eliminate any chance Yusuf has of getting points. He will still try his hardest. He's got a lot of pace about him, but it will be very hard with 13 seconds looming over his head. Yeah, Cam, you should be able to go AI. This is a bit late, but like... we will now go with Farmer Sam. We're waiting... actually, we'll go with checkered flag, waiting for Farmer Sam to go. You can see his ERS is now flipped back off from none. He's about to go. And go is the call in the Haas... over the Haas radio. Farmer Sam in P1, but checkered flag coming from behind, looking to overtake Breaking early. Websy now up the inside of Checkered Flag, having to sit back as he gets overtaken by Sir Joshy. Keith Respondek nipping on his heels as well, looking to keep up his 100% win rate from 2 races here at AUSF1. But it still is Farmer Sam from Checkered Flag, from Sir Joshy, from Websy, from Keith Respondek. What these hard runners need to do is they need to keep up with the soft runners in front four, as a bit of a moment there for Keith. He will be looking to get as many people as he can on the way back with better momentum. He's on the inside of something 3 wide. Pretty bad camera angles on offer there. This seems to be better. Keith Respondek currently P8 after that moment, falling from P5 to P8, running Apollo Pepsi, Mash Jr. and Dommy back in front. But we are witnessing the top 3 pull away from Websy on the hards. It was a risky call from Websy to stay on the hards, and it doesn't seem to be paying off. 1.4 seconds behind that top 3 as things stand. 1.6 now, falling behind every passing second, almost eliminating any chances he has of a race win, let alone a podium. He'll need a miracle to happen, one of the top 3 to crash maybe, if he wants a podium. But for now, he'll have to defend the P4 from Apollo Pepsi, from Mash Jr., from Dommy, for the last 10-11 laps of this race, as we see Zox pick up 3 seconds for violating track limits 3 times this race. We will maybe have a little look at this mid-pack train. Seems like we are seeing some side-by-side action between Cam and Chillpill. Cam being forced around the outside, Chillpill backing out a bit, but he's sent it into Zox, and he will now have a missing front left end plate. Will the McLaren pick 11? Chillpill now looking up the inside of Zox. Zox currently holding P16, the key to challenging for points, which is which starts at P15, but it looks like Chillpill is missing both his end plates. It could make it quite hard to keep up. Is Zox missing anything? Does he have something like diffuser damage? It does not look like it, but he might have front wing damage, as we see fins are 129.969 for him, as we see a whole squabble of cars heading down towards turn 1, pulling from the left to the right, back to the left again. eBay Boy 3 seconds for exceeding track limits too much, as we see AUSF Goat and Keith Respondek jostling for P10. Keith currently in P11 in that kick Sauber, with eBay Boy sending it up the inside. eBay Boy with a penalty, forcing him wide though. Through goes KLX, as AUSF Goat now with 16 seconds of penalties over his name. KLX did look up the inside, but he wasn't able to make it stick. He was able to get the move done over eBay Boy though. KLX with a missing front right end plate, trying to send it up the inside of Keith Respondek into into turn 8, looking for P11, as there's a lot of contact at turn 10 there. KLX getting a bit sideways as a whole squabble of cars now 2 wide on the inside of the track goes into turn 11. Scotty and Verk jostling for P13. The Alpine versus the Williams, blue versus blue. Zox looking to carve his way through, following Scotty through. Verk falling all the way down to P15 as things stand. But we will look back to the front of the pack. Teamwork will be out the window very soon, with this race starting to come to a boiling point. Do you prioritise friendship or your team's position in the constructors' standings? And I think for a lot of drivers it might be constructor's position, or even driver's position, with the driver standings reflecting the results of the first race, of course, as we see a lot of jostling around this P6, 7, 8 area. 2 by 2 by 2. Ooh. Websy going a bit deep, and Mash Jr. maybe not the best rejoin either. Very big, well, it wasn't big contact, but it was a very big moment in the race. Contact causing a big moment in this Grand Prix. Mash Jr. falling from battling for the top 5 down to picking up the pieces in P10. As we see Apollo Pepsi getting very sideways, panning at just the right moment to see him going perpendicular to the racing line through the exit of turn 11. Set dummy 3 seconds. This is where we will start to see those 3 seconds coming into effect. Keeping it penalty free for the remainder of this race will be crucial, as we see checkered flag starting to pull out from Farmer Sam. But with sorry, just give me a sec. But with 3 DRS zones around this track, it gets ever increasingly harder to pull away. He's already lost 2/10 this lap due to the DRS pulling all the way to the right, braking at what looks like the 90-meter mark, and he's lost 3/10. He had a 6/10 lead. It went down to 3/10 for a second, now back up to 4.5, 5, 6. Farmer Sam going quite slowly. Does he have front wing damage? No. He just might be off the pace by the looks of things. No, sometimes when you just aren't on... Ooh, Kiefer Spondek off track. I just looked at the minimap. It looks like he had a moment. As there was a big run from Zox. Those 11-lap old hards not doing Keith any favours. As we see some of these drivers pass through that third and final DRS zone of the lap. With Apollo Pepsi currently second in the train, probably the ideal position, but Finns wants that position more, standing it up the inside. We can have a very good look from Websy. He will now go and try to pass Apollo Pepsi. His 11-lap old hards coming into the game now versus some 7-lap old mediums. Yusuf Goat heading a train. He's got 16 seconds of penalties though, so I highly doubt he's going to score points. He might even finish dead last if he's unlucky enough, as we see Sir Joshy pass Farmer Sam. Farmer Sam really falling off at the moment. There is now a 1.4 gap to checkered, a 1.4 second gap to checkered flag in the lead. Sir Joshy looking to close that gap, but it seems like it's maintaining its prevalence at the moment. We'll just stick around with a little pack for a second as I will briefly depart. Alrighty, we are back. We were riding on board with Scotty. He's currently in P14 on 12-lap old hards. He decided to stay out like a lefty keeper Spondek, EA Boy, and Nat Hammer, I believe. They all pitted at different points, but they all did stay out under that safety car. Scotty currently moving up from tier 2. He isn't known to have the best pace, but he's known to be deadly consistent throughout a season. He can easily pick up a top 5 or 2 here or there with just how consistent it is. His race pace is a lot better than his qualifying pace. He's able to just pick up results out of nowhere. There are times where you won't see him or race and he'll be like, how did he end up P5? But we will focus our attention up to this train. Set dummy quite close to Finns, who is quite close to Lebsy, who is leading the train currently in P4. Set dummy with that 3-second penalty. So as he overtakes Finns, who knows, maybe he can get one removed. He's racing like it, or maybe he's just racing like he thinks everyone else is going to get a penalty. We currently have around 5-ish laps left in this Grand Prix, as Farmer Sam has decide to burn a bit more ERS possibly. As you can see him in overtake right there. He is now back within a second of checkered flag and out of DRS range of Sir Joshy. But we will look at this little battle for P4. It seems to be quite spicy as things stand. Websy from Dommy from Finns from Apollo Pepsi. Set Dommy currently with 3 seconds of time penalties on 10 lap-old softs. 3 of those laps were on the safety car, however, so he's pretty much got 7 lap-old softs that need to last 4 or 5 more laps. So it'll end up being 11 or 12 lap-old softs. And if he's running close wings, something like 42.40 or like 36.40, something like that, that tyre can stack up quickly, and he very well could end up with a puncture or having to tyre save towards the end of this race. But you still see Websy leading that trade, lifting off the throttle, letting Dommy go back in front, slotting in behind, maybe looking to get him back into turn 4. He's using overtake, he's got DRS, so he definitely will get Dommy back. Can Finns follow him through? The answer from Finns is no. He did have it up the inside, was ahead for a moment. Set Dommy actually able to defend around the outside, though. Very good driving from all 4 of these drivers to keep it nice and clean from what we have seen. Except maybe the incidents with Mash Jr., but we don't talk about that. We just focus on the excellent racing product that is being provided here. Now, let's have a little flick up towards the top of the timing ladder here. Farmer Sam 610 soft checkered flag with the benefit of DRS heading towards the end of lap 25 of 29. You have lap 26, 27, 28 and 29 after this for Farmer Sam to try and do something. 4 laps for him to make his move. Sir Joshy out of DRS now. He is not a factor unless these two heavily start squabbling, or their medium, or the medium tyre heavily picks up versus that soft tyre. But we see Set Dommy overtake Websy. Websy lifting off once again to get him back into turn 4. Finns will be looking to trail a lot closer this time, seeing if he actually can get Set Dommy. He does have a bit of battery saved up. Apollo Pepsi, he went very deep into turn 1 and is now quite a fair ways back, slamming on the brakes at the 100 metre board, all 4 of them, but all positions will stay the same. Set Dommy still in P4 as Cam picks up his 3rd and final warning before that for a second. And a nice little battle here that seems to be for nothing as things stand, unless somebody else does not finish the race. Well, who are we looking for now? Let's have another look at this lead battle. Checkered flag and Farmer Sam, both looking to win this race. Farmer Sam in that Haas Hills pick 3, currently in P2, looking to overtake Checkered Flag, which he will do right now, pulling back to the left to get set to slam on the brakes for turn 1. The Toyota Gazoo Racing branded Haas now leads the Grand Prix, I believe, for the first time. Checkered Flag has it's been Checkered Flag, Websy and Sir Joshy with the lead for most of the race, but Farmer Sam finally able to hold the title of a race leader. How long for is the question, though, with Checkered Flag only 2 tenths behind. That is very well in striking distance. The main goal for these two now will be to go fast enough to not let Sir Joshy back in, but Farmer Sam's squabble won't help that, especially if Checkered Flag has had to back out there to not go side by side through turn 9 and 10. Sir Joshy will be licking his lips at the prospect of getting back into this. Currently just over a second behind. He will be looking to gain or to put everything on the line to gain that last little bit of lap time so he can join the affair. And it looks like that is what he has done. Only 8.5 tenths now behind the top two. Sir Joshy, welcome back to the fight. Farmer Sam still in the lead, followed by Checkered Flag, followed by Sir Joshy. All three of these guys now in with a fair chance of winning this race. The top two probably have the best odds, but Sir Joshy cannot be discounted as we start the penultimate lap of this race. Checkered Flag now overtaking Farmer Sam for the lead of the race. This means the cards are now within Farmer Sam's hands as AUSF go pits and quits. Too many penalties for him. But Checkered Flag holds the lead of the race. But Farmer Sam holds the cards, and that is what is important. He is able to play a bit of DRS chicken. But he can't forget Sir Joshy is now right behind him, and he can't forget he does actually need to be close to Checkered Flag to get the move done. The penultimate lap of the race, only a lap and a half to go left around the Bahrain International Circuit. Farmer Sam in P2, he has 3 DRS zones left to try and get this race win back. Now currently 6 tenths off Checkered Flag. His main overtaking spots will be into turn 1 and into turn 4. If he does enter turn 1, however, though, Farmer Sam does get the opportunity to come Checkered Flag gets the opportunity to have another go. But Farmer Sam, he is very, very far back, 9 tenths back, in fact, from Checkered Flag, and Checkered Flag will be very happy with that gap as we start the final lap around Bahrain. Farmer Sam now back to 6 tenths behind Checkered Flag. He might have to take his chance at turn 11. Currently 7 tenths off. He is gaining though with DRS. He doesn't have much battery left though, if you look at that, and Checkered Flag has a fair bit saved up to defend his position, and he is over a second in front now. He is over a second in front, out of DRS range. Pick 10 looking to win the first race of the season. He's currently saving up a bit of battery just in case there is some form of mistake, some bit of a last minute attack. But all the eggs are now in Checkered Flag's basket. A 1.2 second lead heading into turn 11. No more DRS zones this race. Sir Joshy looking to overtake Farmer Sam for P2. He'll be forced around the outside of turn 12. That is not where you want to be. He'll have to sit back behind Farmer Sam, but he will have another go down towards turn 14. You'll be seeing Checkered Flag in the distance coming towards the win, but Sir Joshy right behind him, but he just backs out, looking for a switchback maybe, but no. Checkered Flag crosses the line. He wins the first race of the season for McLaren. Farmer Sam in P2, Sir Joshy in P3, Websy will cross the line in P4, Finn's in P5 spinning across the line, Apollo Pepsi P6, Set Dommy P7, Aussie 2K Goat P8, IRT Mash Jr. P9, Keith Respondek P10, KLX Pick 2 coming home in P11, Scotty in P12, 13 is Verk, 14th is eBay Boy, 15th is Nat Hummer, Cam outside the points in P16, and then we get Zox, and then we get Chillpill. Who knows what he's doing? Okay, just retires. And leaves. But, Checkered Flag from Farmer Sam, from Sir Joshy, that is your podium. I'm just going to switch chats. As we go to podium interviews, and we will invite everyone into here. We'll watch the podium celebrations and we'll scroll through the results and get race director. Then we'll get everyone into the comms box for interviews. Alrighty, let us get everyone in. We get Sir Joshy in the chat now as we'll just flick to the showroom. Sir Joshy, our P3 finisher. Let's just get interviews underway immediately. Sir Joshy, congratulations on that P3 finish. I think the main talking point of that race probably was the battle in those final couple laps. Can you give us a bit of an insight into the thought process of trying to get P2, maybe even P1? Under safety car, you flicked on the medium combat tyres. Was that because you lacked any fresh softs, or was it because you thought the mediums could go a little bit longer? Before that safety car, you were actually looking in a pretty good position to maybe even take the win today. Do you reckon you would have been able to do that without the safety car, or do you think it would have been a battle for P2 like it was in the actual turn of events? Oh. Yeah, so congratulations on that P3 finish. Fortunately, had a bit of audio or technical issues. Hold up, apparently you aren't able to be heard. Let me see if I can fix that. Hold up. Okay, little test. Okay, little test. Okay, little test. Hmm. Hmm. That's not ideal. Hold up. That's not ideal. Hold up. PlayStation. Gotta love it. Can we just try again? Otherwise, I think we might have to give interviews a miss. Okay, hold up. Apparently we can hear you a little, so maybe what I'll do is I'll actually just turn everyone's volume up and see if that helps. Uh, yeah, I think it's just an issue of PlayStation streaming that you can't hear Discord on the actual stream. I'm on the PlayStation streaming. I'm just trying to get confirmation here. Interviews might have to be... Okay, interviews might have to be a miss then tonight. Alrighty. Apologies for that, guys. Thanks to some brilliant technology by PlayStation, interviews won't be available tonight. So thank you for tuning into tonight's race. Thank you to all the drivers who were able to put this show on for us. Thanks to the admins for all the stuff behind the scenes. Make sure to tune in tomorrow at 7:30 for Tier 2 and then Wednesday, same time for Tier 3. Once again, thank you for watching and goodbye.